out of apartment 5B.
You're now tuned into the Apartment 5B podcast, where we chop it up about hip-hop, R&B, sports, love and life. Hosted by Kill.
What's good? You're tuning Apartment 5B, hosted by your man Kill. I got my squad with me. In effect, as always, I got my bro, the R&B guru, JR. What's going on, bro?
What's going on? Feel good to be back in the crib.
No doubt, the youngest in charge. I got my brother Veg out of BK. What's going on, bro?
Just waiting for the clips to show up, man. I'm just waiting.
Bro, I feel you 100%. It's like a national holiday over here for me. I've said, don't nobody bother me tomorrow for the next 72 hours, dog. I made sure my headphones was on 100. I'm over here charging my phone. I don't want no, oh, your battery died. I don't want to hear nothing. I'm listening to that album for the next 72 hours. Easy. Tone from Into the Dome. What's good, bro?
Fellas, what's good, man? Good to be here. And look, you saw me today. I don't know if you saw my tweet, but I said, somebody tonight gonna say the clip shit whack just to be different.
Well, you're gonna have a whole lot of Drake stands and a whole bunch of Jim Jones stands who's saying that just to throw it out there, whatever.
I'm waiting for Tone review. That's what I'm waiting for.
Say what?
I'm waiting for your review. That's what I'm waiting for.
Yo, now here's the wild part. Here's the wild part about Jim Jones. I wish the boy would just shut the fuck up. Because I actually like his album. Like, that's the wild part. The album is dope. It's like, bro, you honestly don't, but you doing all this capping makes me look crazy when I'm like, yo, the album's good. You know what I mean? Niggas who haven't even heard it just based off of what he's saying. I'm like, bro, you got to stop this, just doing shit for attention shit. Because the album is dope enough to speak for itself. You know what I mean? So, but let's get right into it this week, y'all. We are gonna be chopping it up about loops. Everything about loop. What is a loop? You know what I mean? I realize a lot of people out there don't know the difference. What's the difference between sampling something that's obscure that nobody's ever heard? What's the difference between sampling something that was already a hit in the 80s? One of my young boys on Twitter reached out and was like, OG, why I see a lot of niggas your age ain't really mess with Juicy. And I was like, just sample Juicy Fruit by him too, man. It's like, yeah, but ain't all hip hop samples. So what's the difference? And I was like, okay, bet this is a good discussion to have, because for somebody who may not sample, or somebody who may not understand like how we get down with beats and with the vinyl and everything, is that, so we're gonna be talking about that, the difference between a loop. We're gonna be talking about the 5 songs that we did like that were just popular samples that we all knew. We even gonna flip it and talk about when R&B started sampling popular hip hop songs that were already hits to sing over and things like that. So we're gonna be chopping up a little bit about all that. But let me start with this. Did you all have a problem with songs like Juicy and songs that just looped popular songs? Like, real quick, we just gonna go around. JR, did you have a problem with that growing up? You heard Juicy. Did it matter that it was Mtume, or was you just like, yo, I like the song?
It mattered to me personally for that song, but I was just like, okay, with that song with Juicy, I was like, okay, I'm waiting for the next one. But I mean, it's legendary, but whatever. But I was like, oh, this is whack. It's not creative at all. But that's me.
I like that. Not creative at all. Veg, what about you?
I think it bothered me from the standpoint of what I had heard from Biggie up to that point. It was like really hardcore and street and all of that. And even though I like the lyrics to Juicy, because I like what he's talking about, it just threw me off to hear that beat. Or shit, it just sounded like he was rhyming to Mtume joint, or Juicy Fruit. So that's what kind of bothered me initially, because it was like, well, why are you doing this after everything else we've heard? But then I kind of grew to like it based off the lyrics. So.
All right. And Tone, what about you?
You know what's funny, and I respect what JR and Bang said, but the funny thing enough, man, is it didn't bother me at all. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why is because I had heard Who's the Man soundtrack, I heard part of them bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I had heard some of Mr. C shit with Big, so I'm like, I know he know how to get down. You know what I'm saying? But I knew he also was feeling with Puff. You know, Puff would working with Uptown and all this stuff. We got to get on the radio. You know what I'm saying? And one thing I said on podcasts and over the years was, if it was up to Biggie, Ready to Die would have been 12 Machine Gun Funks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what it would have been. You know what I'm saying? You needed Puff. So Puff was kind of like, yo, we just got to go on the radio. And, you know, the sample, the original song is a great song. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if we're going to sample a great song and blend the generations. And that's the way I looked at it, as far as like, Puff helped blend the generations. Biggie rhymes. It was like, the words in the song is what it is. It was all a dream. You know, he talking about Salt Pepper and Heavy D and all this stuff. So I think that the fact that Biggie brought it home in such a clear and concise way, it made me overlook this obvious sample, and I appreciate it for what it was. And I even said that truthfully, I don't know if you guys saw, I listed my like 10 greatest rap songs of all time, and Juicy was one of them, because Juicy is a perfect rap song to me. You know what I'm saying? It's a dream for a kid, you know what I'm saying, to make it. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I really wasn't mad, to be honest with you, because I saw the big picture, and I knew the B-side was going to be, you know, Everyday Struggle, Who Shot You, whatever. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I was good.
Right. And for me, Tone, I think you was able, like you said, you was able to see the big picture. If this is 93, 94, you know what I mean? I'm probably 19, 20. I'm like, yo, what is this? Like, why are we doing this? Why we, I'm not thinking radio. I'm not thinking none of that. And I think I was at 889. So I'm actually on the radio, and I'm not even thinking radio, but that's because I'm at an underground station, so we could play whatever. But I felt some kind of way, because it was just like, damn, I ain't really like, damn, this all you did was just loop him to me. But this can also go back to my background. I started digging and started really trying to get into producing back in 91. You know what I mean? So from the stuff that I was listening to, it was always like, yo, where did this song come from? Where did this song come from? Where did this song come from? So for me to kind of, I wonder, I don't know if Juicy was the first time I heard something and I'm like, that's him too, man. You know, I didn't hear Check the Rhyme and be like, oh, that's Average White Band. You know what I mean? I didn't hear Big Daddy Kane and go, oh, that's the JBs. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know that. So Juicy may actually been the first time that I heard something and was like, oh man, why you just looping that? You know what I mean? So that's why I felt about it. But first, let's talk about this. What is a loop? Because this is why I wanted to explain to the board. A loop, because people have different definitions for the same word. I've heard things like, oh man, it's just a loop. That's whack. Somebody made a big fuss on either Twitter or OK Play. I forgot where it was, but when they heard We Gonna Make It, the Jadakiss joint that Alchemist did, they was like, yo, I thought Alchemist chopped that up in 100 pieces and replayed it. It's just a loop. You know what I mean? Like, that shit whack. Now, we all know We Gonna Make It. It is the furthest thing from whack in the world.
Right.
But for somebody's psychology, it was like, it's just a loop. Now, this is what I tell everybody. 90% of hip hop that we all love is just a loop. Now, a loop for people watching is just a recording of the same thing over and over again. If you hear Come Clean by J. Rue, produced by Premier, it's the same loop over and over and over again. So that's all a loop is. Some people have just started to define a loop as, oh, they just looped something popular. Or maybe it's people think Come Clean is chopped up and Primo took the water drops and replayed it on the pads on the MPC. It's just a loop. My man, my OG, I always say, shouts to my OG, a kid called Roots. He did this show called Milk Crates up at 889 where he would play the original record and then he would play the person who used it. Now, me and JR always talk about this. Hearing that in 2025 is like, kill who doesn't do that. Now, my nigga was doing this shit in 1993. Nobody was doing it. There wasn't no Soul Man tapes and all this stuff that's going on now. Nah, Roots was one of the first OG. He was the first person I had ever seen doing that. So, and with 9 times out of 10, you put the needle on the record. I'll never forget, he came up with I may have to pull it out, the Young Holt joint. That's the sample for Crooklyn Dodgers 2. and the cover looks crazy. It looks like these 3 jazz dudes in suits, and he's like, yo, wait till you hear this. And as soon as you put the needle down, you hear Crooklyn Dodgers 2. It's not like in a loop. It's perfect. You know what I mean? So that's what a loop is. You're just looping something. Now, what my guy was asking me, well, what's the difference between Premier or Pete looping something obscure and Puff just looping something like Juicy that was, you know, a hit because it's still sampling? The difference for me, and we'll go around and see if y'all feel the same way, the difference is it's almost like it's a cheat code. You know what I mean? Because Juicy was already a dope song. You know what I mean? Like, when you do the knowledge on what Havoc did to make Shook Ones and take something obscure and turn it into an anthem, like that was the art. And I love what you said, JR. It's not creative at all. And that's really what essentially what it went to, is it's not creative. And what Tone and Poke used to do, I think Tone was in the club, Poke was in the studio. They would go to the clubs, they would listen to the old school set to see what songs was played that the crowd was rocking to. Then they go back to the studio and loop that up and use it. Because it's like, well, the crowd already went crazy to it. So we already halfway there with a hit.
Right.
Because when the DJ throws this on, we already know people going to lose their shit to it. So versus it being like a kick in the door, you know what I mean? Or Unbelievable, which I heard was a tunnel banger. That's Bob James. It took niggas years to find out that was Bob James. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. In the way that he chopped it. So it's not like some real hip hop couldn't be a tunnel banger. You know what I mean? So that's kind of like, I just wanted to break down what the difference was for a loop, because I know somebody watching is like, yo, what's the difference? I don't know. Now, what did you all, do you think, like JR, you said it's not creative at all. Tone, I just saw you say, yeah, you kind of agree with that. Vague, what do you think? Do you think it's creative to just take something that was already a hit and use it again?
No, I don't think it's creative. I think it's smart from a business standpoint.
Yeah.
But it's not creative because, for example, Unbelievable was the B-side. In New York City, Juicy and Unbelievable got spins. Sometimes Unbelievable more than Juicy. And it was just because that's what we were feeling more. And that was at a time where songs like Unbelievable could get that kind of spins over the radio single.
Right.
Generally in NY, everybody felt the same way, kind of like, what's this? You know what I'm saying? Because back then, you didn't necessarily need to make a radio single. That came with Bad Boy's prominence when they started more, and that became the standard. But right back then, it was more Unbelievable fans than it was Juicy. But again, I think Juicy just grew on everybody because, like you said, I mean, it's Entombed. But that's how I feel about it. I feel like it's smarter if you're trying to, get spins, exposure, a wider audience, right? Generations to do that. But it's more creative because it's hip hop. It's fun to find out somebody chopped up a familiar song and made a hit out of that. So,
right. And then also, my guy was like, yo, I feel like y'all be moving the goalposts with y'all hip hop rules. And what I was trying to explain to him is that you got to understand that hip hop, we didn't really start getting rules.
JR laughing.
What?
JR laughing.
JR moving the goalposts. I hate that. I hate that when people say that.
But I get it. I get it. Not at all. Not at all. I get it. People always say we're moving the goalposts. Yeah. But the thing is that hip hop in the 80s, we didn't really, I compare it to having a kid. When you first have your kid really doesn't have any rules. You know what I mean? You're just learning the kid. Now, when the kid gets 7, 8, now you're like, okay, now you got a bedtime. Now rules start to come. Kid gets a little bit older. Now you got a curfew. In the beginning stages, so in the 80s, there really weren't any rules. There weren't these rules of you got to write your own rhymes. Yep. That wasn't a rule in the 80s. Like I said, if all 4 of us was best friends and Vegas was the only person who could rhyme, he gonna be like, nah, nigga, we starting the group and I'm gonna just write all y'all rhymes. Y'all just say that. Now that's in the 80s. Now you fast forward, that's 85, 86. You fast forward to 95, 96, Vegas is not writing all our rhymes. No. The only way we gonna be in the group And this is how niggas became managers because niggas couldn't rhyme, but they wanted. I'm dead ass. This is how it happened because it was like, wait a second, I can't rhyme, but I want to be down with the group. Okay, I'm gonna be your manager. I'm gonna be your manager because the rules changed. Well, not the rules changed, but there were now rules in place. Let me say that there were now rules in place that it wasn't okay for Vegas to write all our rhymes. No, you got to write your own rhymes. There wasn't anything in place because we're going to talk about some songs and give some examples about things. And then 2, I think it's about context. But before I get to the context, let's talk about a couple of songs. A song that I did not have a problem with them looping something that I already knew was Paid in Full, Eric B. and Rakim. You know what I mean? It samples Dennis Edwards' Can't Look Any Further, which was a huge song. I love that song to this day. It's the funniest video in the world. That nigga is chewing the shit out of that gum in that video.
He was high in that video, Skill.
Well, I get high and chewing the shit out of some gum.
Oh yeah, he was high. Oh yeah,
he
made the video.
And I love the song. So when I heard Paid in Full, and again, Paid in Full, not the album, but the single is floating around 86, 87. You know what I mean? Don't Look Any Further just came out in 84. So we talking about, it ain't even been 3 years since this joint got jacked.
That's right.
You know what I mean? But at the time, there was not one human being with a soul who was like, man, this shit whack. They just used Dennis Edwards, Can't Look No Further. Nobody was. No. Because we didn't know to be. We just was happy to hear somebody rhyming. That's all we were doing. And this even goes back to the park jams when niggas was just on the 2 turntables going back and forth with records. You had to rhyme over something, so you was rhyming over somebody else's song anyway. You know what I mean? But so I didn't have any problem with that. But it kind of will lead into another question on, is there a time frame of how long something has to be before you use it? And I'm gonna give some examples. I'm gonna give some examples of that. But that's just one. JR, you have all your R&B joints, right?
Right.
All right, we're gonna come back to you. Vay, give me one of yours that you're not mad at, that was just a loop that you knew.
Actually, I kind of did this in a weird way, but I kind of wrote 2 for each, like sample as examples of loops of the same loop, but both of them being great. Bonita Album by Tribe Called Quest, the remix with the Isley Brothers, Between the Sheets, and Big Papa.
Yeah. Yes, I had
that. We heard it a million times over, but somehow that shit was perfect with hip hop. You know what I'm saying? And those types of songs. But yeah, for me, that was like a strong one because Bonita Applebone was different, right? For me at the time, that was kind of like the first time, at least I remember, hearing that sample used in that way, and I thought it was dope. But then when Biggie did it, like I paused for a second because it's like, we already did this, but nah, this is hot though. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's one for me for sure.
You know what? That's a dope one, Vay, because then it wouldn't have been juicy me hearing the first time knowing a song, because I definitely knew Between the Sheets, and I loved that Bonita remix. I love that joint. To this day, I'll take Bonita over Big Papa, which I know I'm in the minority for. But again, it's a testament of how I'm gonna come back to the context of it. But that's a great point. So it wouldn't have been juicy, it would have been that joint, because that shit was crazy. That was a crazy remix, man. I'm so much in the minority, I'll take that over the original. And I know I'm the only nigga walking the planet Earth. I'm gonna take it that far.
I wouldn't even be mad at that. No.
I'm the same.
I like the Bonita remix with Between the Sheets more than the original.
Is that the Huda remix?
Yeah.
It's better, man. The Huda remix is better than the original.
That's why I'm not mad at that.
I thought I'd be the only one because everybody loves the original joint.
No.
Yeah. Got a little older, tidbit wiser, gained 60 pounds, 3 inches high. Like Tip was killing that shit. Tip was killing that shit. Yeah, Tip was killing that. That's a great pull, Vag. That's definitely a dope pull. Tom, which one of your joints?
Well, first of all, Vag stole my joint. You know what I'm saying? But what about this though, man? I was thinking about when you had hit me earlier, kid. I was thinking about Rebels Delight, man. That Chick song, Good Times, man.
The Chick, yeah. It just came out. It was out. It may have been the same year.
Yeah, so it wasn't even a long period of So I was about to say that it wasn't even a long period of time before they sampled that joint. I mean, straight jacked it. You know what I'm saying? We know the lyrics got jacked. We know Hank them stole, cast, whatever. But nevertheless, man, like I love Chick song, Good Times. And so Rappers Delight kind of made a rap song that was accessible to everyone. And even like older people who might not love hip hop, love Chick and love Good Times. So this is the earliest stages of rap. This is the first major rap song, straight jacking an R&B joint.
Right. But you know, Tone, that goes back to what I was talking about when niggas was in the parks. There was two type of park jams. You had the cats like Flash who was trying to find break beats for the breakers to break off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So which kind of leads into the what I call the secret squirrel society of, yo, you can't see what I'm using. Yo, don't look at what I'm digging for. Yo, don't hide that record. Don't let them see that record. Because Flash would take the joint like this. You know what I mean? Flash would take the joint and then scratch this off. So if somebody was looking at him, you wouldn't be able to be like, oh, that break, I don't know what it was, but it's on a Mercury joint. So then niggas would be all through. So Flash will rip this off the record. So you couldn't even see what it was. So even back in the beginning, there were like some rules to it. Like, yo, you can't jack my shit. Like, yo, I had to sit here and listen to all these records to find these break beats and these drums. So nobody else could do it. But then you also had the DJs who just wanted to keep the party going. So of course you see how people reacted to Chic, you know, the joint. And then here come, you know, Rappers Delight and everything like that, which Tone kind of plays back to what I'm saying about, is it that bad to be in the club, seeing people get hyped for a record, and then having somebody rhyme over that record? Because cats did that way back in the day. You know what I mean? Because that's all we do. Niggas didn't have drum machines. Niggas was just trying to ante up money to get 2 turntables. Fuck 2. You niggas trying to get 1. Again, they credit the Blackout in New York being another spot. What's up?
No, to your point too is, you said something a few minutes ago that makes sense. There wasn't all these rules that we have now. They're just trying to get the music out whatever kind of way. We take this sample, we do this, we do that, whatever to get the music out. Now it's the more rules.
Right.
But the early stages of hip hop, it wasn't all these rules like that. Let's try to make some music. However, we have to sample this disco shit or this 70s joint, this Motown joint, whatever it takes to get the song out.
Right. What you gonna say, Vay?
I was gonna say, yeah, when you think about what y'all saying, and you go to the 80s with that similar question, like about Juicy, it wasn't really about a radio play when they made Rappers Delight. It was just all of it was creativity at that point in time, right?
Right,
like
everything.
You know, everybody liked this record. You know what I'm saying? Well, let's put some catchy lyrics to it, and because the MCs were already doing that in the clubs, freestyling over these joints and all of that. So
yeah,
it's interesting how it changed to like some real strict, you know, no biting in anything, well, biting or whatever rules. It wasn't bad, you know, it was good for its time because it gave us some really creative shit. But it's interesting though.
And it's funny, I can say as a producer, the rules definitely has stifled my creativity. Like, I'll give a great example. When Sean C and LV sampled the Menahem Walking Street, I think that's the name of the walking band, forgive me if I'm messing up the title, for Rock Boys. That sample had just come out. That may have not even been a year old. Them horn samples for Rock Boys off of American Gangster. And I'm like, oh shit, I didn't know we could do that again. Like, I didn't know I could just use something that just came out a year ago. Like, oh, the rules are changing? Like, so in my mind, even if I heard something that I wanted to say, I promise you, if we probably sat down with all the OGs, the Pete's, the Preems, the Large Pros, the Beat Miners, all them dudes, I'm sure they probably all have stories with like, man, I always wanted to sample that, but I knew niggas would have looked at me sideways if I sampled that. Like, Walt and Evil D have a great example. The next joint I'm gonna name is Smith & Wesson's Recognized. The joint what they did just with the two of us. You know what I'm saying? With the video. I love that shit. Love it. You know what I mean? Got some of my favorite quotables. What's that say? Protect my dome, because that's where my home's at. Like, and the video is crazy, but they just looped up Grover Washington's Just the Two of Us, which at the same time Will Smith had just done for the song about his son. that we all was like, that shit wag, get out of here, Will. We don't want to hear that shit. Smith and Wesson in Brooklyn, oh, that shit crazy. Context. The context of who does it and when. Because Walt talks about in the book, Check the Technique, he talks about how the reason it's produced by Still was because Still came to them with the sample, and they was like, we ain't looping that shit. You ain't putting our name. Like, the beat miners, we don't do that. We not just looping something that everybody knows. That's not our steez. So knock yourself out if you want to produce it, but we ain't doing that. And that's why that song ended up being produced by Still. Yeah. Now I want to go into context for a second. The reason why I think context is so important is because, peep this, I realized this. I'm the only person in the world who felt this way. When I heard Illmatic, I did not like Life's a Bitch. I love Daisy's part, and it took me months, not probably months, probably weeks to get to Nas's part. Because I would always fast forward it. Because I'm like, how these niggas just sample the Gap Band Yearning for Your Love? Like, what kind of bullshit is this? Like, we just came off a New York State of Mind, and we go into The World Is Yours. These niggas just looped up the Gap Band that we all know this song. What the fuck is going on?
And leave LES alone, man.
Yo, no, but here's the thing. Here's the context. Now, so nobody had a problem with that, right? Like, babe, you didn't have a problem with the Yearning for Your Love, right?
I didn't have a problem with it, but I did pause when it came on because it was just unexpected. Like Juicy.
Right. So, what about you? You didn't have a problem with Life's a Bitch, right?
Nope.
Okay. Now, JR, problem with Life's a Bitch?
My parents didn't like it at all, but I was fine with it.
All right. The reason why I say this is because doing the research for this show, I'm sitting here thinking like, okay. So eventually, of course, I loved it. I always loved AZ's part. Amazing song, everything like that. So nobody had a problem when LES produced Life's a Bitch. But when the Track Masters produced If I Rule the World, looping up Friends, niggas lost their fucking minds. What the fuck is this? Nas trying to sell out for the radio, blah, 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 blah. All of this, and I'm sitting here like, wait a second. Y'all niggas ain't have a problem when LES looped up Yearning for Your Love.
That's true.
Why y'all got a problem?
Street Jack.
Why y'all got a problem with the Track Masters looping up Friends? It's the same fucking premise.
Hey, Kill.
What's up?
Can I answer that real quick, my brother?
Yeah, please do.
You know what I'm about to say? The Boom Bap kids didn't like it because Pete Rock and them didn't do it. Same way you even said, Kill, back in the day, if niggas would have found out RZA did shootouts, they wouldn't have been crying about it. You know what I'm saying? So it was written because it wasn't all of those cats from Illmatic. They complain about it. But like you said, it's a straight jack, same way LES did on Illmatic. It's a straight jack of them song. He ain't even do nothing like a bitch. Nas and AZ just rhymed over the original beat.
They sure did.
Which is crazy because it's a hip hop sample. It's a hip hop sample. Like,
bro,
that's the soul R&B.
That's the part that's even crazier. Right. They sampled a hip hop song, but niggas lost their mind. But here's where we go with context and time. To me, if it said produced by the Track Masters, anytime post 94, it was like you was Satan. You the devil. It don't matter if it's produced by the Track Masters, it's whack. Yep. And that's the problem. But then I'm like, you know, the young boys say, keep that same energy. Keep that same energy when LES do it for another one of my songs, Sugar Hill by AZ.
Right.
Ain't nobody have a problem with AZ looping up Sugar Free. Ain't nobody had a problem. Everybody loved it because it was produced by LES. Tone, I would love to go back in history on some Marty McFly type DeLorean shit and just fuck with the credits and make Sugar Hill say produced by Tone and Poke from the Track Masters. Bro. And I want to see how much niggas would have liked Sugar Hill then. They would have hated it because of the context of who it is and who did it. You know what I mean? Which made no sense to me. Vay, give me another one of yours, bro.
All right, another one. So again, I kind of looked at all the songs that sampled this song, but Tanya Gardner Heartbeat. So you have De La Soul Buddy remix. You have DMX It's All Good. Black Moon, Two Turntables and a Mic, and Annika Mosey Hot Stepper. Like every time it happened, we know it's the same loop, it's the same beat, but it worked with each outing. It just worked. So it's kind of dope. And I think to what Tone was saying earlier about Chic, I think it's the same for this song. Like and I could only really speak for myself and my time, but these are like block party, park jam records.
That's it right there, babe.
So they were kind of linked to hip hop anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's why it was probably more acceptable for beats like this, Good Times and Heartbeat, because of culture. Right.
Yeah, that's a great point, Veg. That's a great point. That's a huge differentiation between being in the club looking for a hit versus, like you said, it just being a block party staple. Cal always talks about how Kenny Burke's just rising to the top. He's like, yo, that's like a Queen's anthem. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that was just all the time. But did anybody in New York have a problem when Pete and CL used that for Take You There? Nah.
Nope.
Anybody have a problem when Buck Wild used it for OC for Born to Live?
Nope. Yeah, nobody cares.
Because like you said, Veg, and I think that's a great point, this was embedded in hip hop. Them block parties in the 80s was hip hop. That's a part of where hip hop was born. That's a part where hip hop grew up. You know what I mean? So it's almost like we gotta use that shit. You know what I mean? You'll hear a lot of people say in the 80s, like niggas was like Marley for Master Ace's Me and the Biz, that Samandi joint. He was like, yo, my big brother used to always spin that Samandi joint in the park. And niggas will rhyme over it. So it was like, yo, I gotta use that for Ace. You know what I mean? So a lot of the joints that we heard in the 80s, a lot of those samples was just what was being played in the park. You listen to Run DMC's Here We Go, live at the Funhouse, all Jay was doing was going back and forth with Billy Squire's Big Beat. That's all he was doing. You know what I mean? So, Tom, give me another one, bro.
Man, you know what? The other day I was watching old videos and I was watching Michael McDonald's. I keep forgetting, man. And I was like, damn, Warren G regulate. But I'm gonna tell you, man, Michael McDonald is a dope dude, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so when I listen to the original song and then I listen to regular, I'm like, man, I ain't even mad that Warren G made that song, yo, because he really took a dope 80s joint from a white dude that we all love, man. Like, Michael McDonald wasn't trying to be black. That's just his. Nah. He was just a dope dude, and the song was dope. And like, I felt like Warren G and Nate Dogg did the original song justice. So I wasn't mad at Regulators, man. When I heard that, knowing how much I love, I keep forgetting about Mike McDonald, man. So that's when it came to mind, man. When I was thinking about this show tonight, man.
Now, that's a great pull because I've never been a Warren G fan like that. But, man, you throw on Regulate. I love that joint, man.
And it's a song about getting robbed.
That's the part that my OGs was. I'll never forget. I was at the barbecue on the Platte in Philly. My old heads was like, fuck this nigga writing a song about getting robbed. Nigga, you supposed to be the Superman. I'd be goddamned if I write a song about getting robbed. Nigga, I'm killing everybody. Like, so it's like,
Nate Dogg speaking gangster shit.
Right, but I mean, perfect joint song. That's another great example of that. Now, here's the other piece. JR, hold tight. We coming to you, bro, because I definitely want to get your opinion on the flip side. The next song that I'm going to name is Kendrick's Poetic Justice. You know what I mean? With him and Drake, which is so ironic. But I love that joint. When I heard it, I wasn't mad at it. And I love Janet's Anytime, Any Place. Love it. So normally I would have been like, oh, these niggas saying. That's always me when that's my face. These niggas done sample, but I wasn't mad at it. Kendrick kills it. I think Drake kills this part. If I listen to Anytime, Any Place, I have to now play that song directly afterwards. There's no way I can't because it's just embedded. And I wasn't mad at it, but I remember when it dropped, niggas was mad. Oh, these niggas, Anytime, Any Place just dropped. Here's the thing. Anytime, Any Place dropped in 1994. Poetic Justice was done in 2013.
Yeah.
So we're past the 20-year span, but I think, vague for people our age, they was like, we get caught up like, that shit just came out. No, it really did. Like Anytime Any Place didn't just come out. Like, no, it's been here for a while. Like, I was in college when this came out. Like, I'm now married for almost 10 years by the time Kendrick comes out. So no, we got different time. No, I was married 13 years by the time this joint came out. But is there a time frame of what it should be? Kind of like what I was saying with the Manahan Street Band, with the Rock Boys. Like, and a lot of stuff on that J album, Magna Carta, a lot of them joints that Timbaland was using was relatively new samples. Like, they were songs that may have been out 2 or 3 years. You know what I mean? So for y'all, does it matter the time? Like, let's say Anytime Any Place had just came out in 2010 and Kendrick uses it in 2013. Does that matter to y'all, or at the end of the day, as long as it's a dope song, time frames don't matter or whatever like that? What you think, JR?
I don't have, because a lot of my lists, it was like 4 and 5 months apart that the sample was used. So,
well, the flip of your list is when we gonna start talking about when R&B starts singing over hip hop. You know what I mean? And I think that was much more of a. It's almost like almost on some heart surgery shit. You be watching the medical shows, and it's like, we got the heart, we gotta get the heart over here real quick. Boy can't be without the heart too long. I feel like that's how it is with hip hop. You know what I mean? Like, yo, if we gonna have you sing over 10 Crack Commandments, we better do the shit right now. You know, while the shit is still hot. Like, we can't wait 10, 20 years. You know, because when you think, like you said, I keep forgetting, it don't matter, Tone. You can play that shit 50 years from now, still a banger. I don't know if the hip hop memory is gonna remember how dope 10 Crack Commandments was 20 years later. So Puff, I gotta get SWV on it right now. We gotta get it. We gotta go right now. And so I feel like when they're singing over hip hop, it has to be much more faster than the flip of we taking soul music over here. But we gonna figure it out. So Beg, for you, is there a time frame? Does it matter if Anytime Any Place was 2010 and Kendrick is 2013?
I think now it doesn't. And when I say now, I don't mean like right now. I think when it really dawned on me is when Eminem did Stand, because it was familiar to me. The beat was familiar and the singing, but I couldn't remember if it was something from a while ago I heard or something recent. And it turned out to be that chick Dido or whatever.
Right.
And that was like, I don't even know if that was a year that shit was like. But because of what he did with it, it complemented what he was doing. It was familiar because it was something new. So I started to look at things like, oh, well, I guess you can do that without at least stomping on the original. Because all it did was introduce me to the original. Right. And I wound up liking that song. So I don't think it matters as much anymore.
Right. Tone, what about you?
I couldn't hear you.
No, I'm saying, what about you? Does it matter the time frame? Like, does it matter if Anytime Any Place was 2 years old or if it was 30 years old?
Well, if you're trying to make a hit, then you probably need to be pretty recent. You know what I'm saying? As far as like, if the original song was a big song and now you're trying to make a hit, you probably need that joint to rock out in the next 2 or 3 years or whatever. But if you're just talking about an album cut or something like that, then I don't think it matters. You know what I'm saying? Okay. But I think if you're trying to have something that's recognizable to fans and it was a popular song, then you don't want too much time to waste because we're in a microwave society. So people attention span short. You got to catch it when it's hot. So I don't think it matters. I mean, it's good if it's a close period of time.
All right. We're going to come back to the other two, or how many more we got left. I want to flip over to JR side real quick with the R&B flips. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. The first time I can kind of remember hip-hop, R&B using hip-hop is Mary's Real Love. I just remember my OG Steve playing that, and I'm like, yo, she's singing over top billing? Like, yo, you could do that? Again, this is a time of, like, innocence where it's like, you could do, like, who? I didn't know that was allowed. You can sing on top of, oh, this shit dope. Like, this shit dope. And again, we got to give respect to Ron G, and I'm sure there's some other NYC DJs who going to be like, nah, I did it before Ron. Well, whoever y'all are, shouts to y'all, because it all started with the blend tapes. It all started with that Stephanie Mills, something, The Way You Make Me Feel over Impeach the President. It all started there, and Puff just took that brought it to Mary. So that's the first time that we're now starting to see this come in. JR, you're the biggest Mary fan. Did you feel any kind of way about when you heard that?
Real Love? No, I didn't. It was because it was different. It was a whole different sound now. So and hip hop was starting to become mainstream now. It was getting bigger, so it was coming into R&B for real. So it was different. So Mary kind of was like the first to kind of do it mainstream wise. So it was like, oh, okay, all right, because I mean she just did You Remind Me, so it was like, okay. And then she come out with Real Love. It was like, okay, all right. This is the new sound that's coming in, so it wasn't a big deal.
This is why my memory's messed up. Why do I think Real Love came out first?
Okay, that was officially her first single, yes. But, You Remind Me was on Strictly Business.
It's on the Strictly Business, right.
So that was her first single, but the first official single was Real Love. Yeah.
All right, cool. That makes sense.
Hey,
Vay, what about
you?
Yeah. No.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't they do a whole remix album with Mary J songs over hip hop joints?
And that came out in '93, which was darn near about 8-9 months later. So
yeah,
you talking about this joint?
Yeah, that's it right there, right there. All hip hop joints.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They remixed all of them and put them on hip hop.
Yeah. Vay, what about you? Any problem when you first heard Mary?
Nah, man, I already loved Mary from Remind Me, and when I heard that was the reverse. R&B with hip hop beats. I was like, oh shit, I like this.
Yeah,
right.
So, yeah, I didn't have a problem.
So, what about you?
Hey, look, man, I look at Mary J. Blige the same way I look at LL Cool J. We do no slander here, buddy. You can't say nothing bad about Mary J to me. You know what I'm saying? Same way you can't say nothing bad about Uncle L to me. I don't want to hear that shit. You know what I'm saying? So, being Mary did, I love that whole remix.
Yo, bro, this album,
flawless.
Man, let me tell y'all something, man. Dog, I remember being big. I was a freshman at Morgan. This for people who ain't even gonna know what this even is. When you have your answering machine and you'd have to put some music on. I had Love No Limit, and I waited for the break when everything drops. And it's like, loving you. And I'd be like, yo, this kill. Yo, I'm not here right now, but leave a message. Then I let Mary, loving you is love. Yo, bro, like, and it took hours. We would sit there with our answering machines and get that shit. We was the original. That was the original recording session. Like, niggas would sit there. Niggas ain't never just do it in one take, nigga. We doing 5, 6. We gonna get this answering machine joint her flawless. And it was my first time not being in my mom's crib. This is the first time it's my answering machine. Oh, nigga. It was like a recording session up in there. So I had no beef with this.
Exact same thing, dog. I swear.
Nah, I'm sure everybody our age did.
We'll sit there a whole hour to make sure it sounds perfect. Exactly. So I had no beef with this. Now, when I did the first time, and I don't know if this is the first time, I do know Puff just started getting on my nerves with this shit. That's what I could say. Because when I heard No One Else by Total, I'm like, oh, these niggas. The South Bronx, like, you just got girls singing over damn the South Bronx. Now, of course, I went on to love No One Else. I mean, probably one of the Brat's dopest verses. If not, you know, one of the things about Brat, I feel like her 16s, her guest appearances on Missy, Sock It To Me, on this shit, yo, she's flawless. Like, that's where I think Brat puts in her bar works. Now, the songs, all that funkified shit, whatever. But when she wants to get down on a 16, people got to at least put some respect on her name, because Brat can blaze a 16. And that B-side was dope, though, Kill.
Yeah, no, the B-side was dope. But here's the thing: the average person ain't never heard the B-side. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, so I mean, I went on to love it, but I do remember that being the first time that I was like, these niggas. So now we're gonna be looking at what are 5 songs that. Well, let's talk about this. After Mary, did you all mind, especially you, JR, were you bothered when R&B singers were no longer making R&B music? They were just singing over straight hip-hop jacks. You know, maybe you felt some kind of way like, yo, this is Mary's lane. Because I almost felt like it was like Rock Marcy. Like, somebody was asking me about drumless hip-hop. And I'm like, that was ALC and Rock Marcy's lane. And now the rest of y'all niggas just started biting that shit, which just now makes it unbearable. Similar to Steph Curry with the 3-point shot. When that was just Steph's shot and he was making them, that shit was beautiful. Now the whole NBA done turned and the niggas shooting up threes from half court, and it makes the game horrible to watch. So after a while, after Mary, did you feel some kind of way that, yo, niggas is just all biting what Mary do?
I mean, once she hit, every label wanted her. So you know how labels do. They like, okay, we want another Mary, we want this, and we're gonna do that. We're gonna get the Monifas, we're gonna get to this, we're gonna get to that. This is all we want. So it's kind of the name of the game, to be honest with you. So, and then that's when hip hop really started to take over, become a little bit more popular than R&B. Then it was like, oh, everybody's doing this. And for my household, it worked for me because it was like, my dad was like the hip hop head and my mom was the soul head. So it was like, it worked for me. It's finally no arguing in the house. What we gonna play? So it was like, great. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Okay, once Mary came out, it was like, oh, okay, they can play this shit at the same time. All right, we can put What's the 4-1 and let it rock. And my dad liked it too. So it was fine with me.
All right. Let me ask you this though. Because one of my favorite SWV albums is your least favorite SWV album.
Yes.
How did you feel when you heard Someone?
I was pissed the fuck off. I didn't like it. It sounded half-assed. I didn't care for it. None of it. It sounded undone to me. They didn't like you really, and Big just literally 4 months ago just came out with the 10 Crack Commandments, and you're gonna use, and you did nothing different with it at all. And then Up got a nerve to rhyme a verse on it. I was like, this is some bullshit. Like I was.
Then he rhymed 2 verses. Like, don't he set it off?
He started it, and then he had a verse. That's when you knew it was whack. It was half-assed. Even the girls was like, this shit was whack. So I was pissed. I was like, nah, I ain't with this.
Yeah, that was pretty terrible.
Yes, bad.
Veg, what about you? As time went on, not the Marys, but everybody now doing it. Was you messing with it, or was you like, nah, this shit whack? Let Mary do her thing.
I think it depended on who did it, how much I liked them, how much I liked, the track they were using. Because in some cases it sound forced. It sound like a marketing plan as opposed to a song that was dope. So it got a little cheesy as we went on, and some things I liked, some things I didn't. But I didn't think it belonged to Mary because what she did, along with Puff, it changed so much that it was like everybody had to get on board because this is what we wanted.
Yeah,
right.
So it kind of just happened that way.
Right. So, what about you?
I wasn't really mad, man, because at the end of the day, I was throwing parties in the clubs and joints here in Greensboro, so I needed joints in the club to pop off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so Tom was like, I ain't give a goddamn as long as people came to the club. That's all I care.
We're making this paper. We got girls in the line down the damn street. Real talk. So I need them to enjoy Mary and Monifa, whoever else, Davina, all of them. You know what I'm saying?
Nigga said Davina.
Nigga
said Davina.
Yeah, absolutely.
That nigga said Davina.
Sing over all this hip hop shit.
What did Davina sing over? What did she sing over?
I don't remember what she sang over. I remember she had some joints though.
Yeah, she had some. Her album was dope.
Her album was just dope though, and that joint she did with Raekwon was my shit. You know
right? Yes.
Totally off topic. We always gotta show my homegirl right now.
Oh man, that's a sleeper album, man. Adriana.
It's a 5 mic album right there. Y'all buy. This is one of the few money back guarantees I've done in life. I've said, yo, if y'all buy this album, don't like it, I will pay you whatever you spent on that album.
What's funny though, when I got the AJ and Evans joint and the Davina joint, I was trying to put people on. Like a lot of people wasn't up on either one of them. Both of them albums was well produced. The songs was dope. It was sequence dope. 2 dope albums, man. You know what I'm saying? But real talk, I wasn't mad because I knew the music as far as like the popular radio joints was starting to change. So I knew that some of the joints that blend the R&B hip hop was gonna pop off in the club. You know what I'm saying? Right. I needed the clubs to pop off at the time, so our DJ could be playing all these joints. The women can have fun, dancing and shit like that. The dudes can do what they do in the club. So I wasn't mad because you got that joint If y'all underground boom bap niggas want to listen to damn, Slum Village down the street, they got a spot down the street for that. I'm just so, but I need these chicks to dance, nigga. Y'all want to listen to De La Soul? That's cool. We're gonna do that down.
This nigga said y'all want to listen to De La. What's up, man?
I'll say this, Tone, but did you personally like it? Because I threw parties also, but I also had my personal preferences. Same thing with Strictly Hip Hop. Like this nigga Kill.
Yeah.
I got on, niggas was like hurt, like this nigga don't play Tupac. I was like, what?
Right. No, so, to your question, Vag, some of the songs, yes. Some songs gonna be a little cheesy or whatever. It was just a moment in time. It was what it was. It's not what I was rocking in my car or back at the dorm room. You know what I'm saying? So it didn't matter. I could differentiate the joints. In my car, I had Black Moon Enter the Stage and Illmatic in the car, and Southern Playalistic kind of like music in the car. But in the club, rock this Mary J remix album. Play all that shit.
Right. Play it all.
All right. Now for me, the problem that I had with it, my initial thing was after Mary doing her thing was like similar to the NBA. Like, yo, this shit is whack. Everybody don't need to be throwing up threes as soon as it's a fucking fast break and you're going to stop at the 3 feet behind the 3-point line and shoot a three. Like, nigga, and you coming off the bench. Nigga, if you don't sit your ass down. So for me, it was that. But the part that, again, me being a producer that I was more upset about was that this is the one that pissed me off the most. We're going to talk about the ones we like, but the one that pissed me off the most was Jenny from the Block.
Oh.
When J-Lo sampled the Beat Nuts, Watch Out Now. Number one, that's my favorite Beat Nuts song.
That didn't help.
And then you make the track masters do it. You let the track masters do it. So this was my beef. If you're gonna jack me for my shit, can I at least produce it? Can I get some points on a Jennifer Lopez album? Can I live? Because you like my music. You like it. So why can't Jenny call Fat Joe like, Joe, you know Juju and Psycho? Tell them I want to use their joint real quick. Come to the studio, get this bag with me. So as the producer in me, that's the problem that I had with it, was that why are you getting the track masters when you could just go to Psycho and Juju and get the original joint out the MP? Now, on this note, I always give a shout out to Alicia Keys, and I salute her because on her second album, The Diary, she had "If I Was Your Woman,"
that is my
and she was doing it over Big's Warning. You know what she did? She reached out to Mo B.
Yeah, Bull B.
Reached out to Mo B, the producer who produced it for Big, and gave him the credit. And
that's
said,
real shit too. That's real.
That's the thing that's dope. I always will salute Alicia for that because nobody else does that shit.
That's
you know
dope.
what I mean? So I thought that was dope as hell because she easily could have just told her engineer, yo, loop up Warning, and I'm gonna say I produced it.
So what, Gil? That's how it should be though, man.
Right. It should. If you're gonna jack my shit, the least you could do. The least you could do is let me get the bag too. Why are you giving the bag to Poke and Tone and the track masters?
Yep.
Right.
So that was my beef with it. But JR, give me some of the joints that give me a joint that was a R&B singing over hip hop that you did mess with.
Okay. The first one that you hit me about, I'm gonna say Lil' Kim's Queen Bitch and Mary's I Can Love You.
Man,
that was literally like 4 months before, like, she came out with Queen Bitch 4 months before but was it a single? I don't think it was a single.
No, it was a single. It was not. It was No Time. No Time was the A side, and then Queen Bitch was the B side. So
and then Mary comes out with that.
Wasn't that on High School High also?
I don't know if Queen Bitch was on High School High.
It was. You're right. So it was.
Yeah, I think that was on High School High soundtrack.
It was.
Anybody ever seen that fucking movie?
No, but I had the soundtrack.
Yeah, I see High School High. Movie dumb as hell. That was my nigga Makai Pfeiffer. I used to fuck with that boy, man.
But I remember a soundtrack because I think that's the first time.
Yeah, the soundtrack was crazy. The soundtrack was crazy. Very slept on soundtrack. Yeah,
Kim was on there.
Yeah, JR, that may be top 5 Kim verse. I was listening to that on my way in. Yes. That's what made me think about that. Kim's verse on that, top 5 Little Kim. May even actually be my favorite verse from her because she killed that shit. Under pressure, I lie for you, die for you, Ruger by the thigh for you, right hand high. Yo, I was in the car like, been in love with you. We get the heist like Nabuche. Been in love with you, sister. Yo, Kim spazzed on that joint. Vay, what's the R&B joint you ain't mind?
Faith and Carl Thomas, Can't Believe.
Yes, God.
They use the phone tap beat.
That came out dope. That came out dope.
Hard.
Oh my God.
I remember loving that shit. Like,
that was hard.
Bro, I just did. Like, see, for me, it's more so like it catches me off guard for a second. Like, oh, that's because, like you said, the sample. So
right.
I'm like, oh, it's phone tap.
They did it justice though.
That song.
Oh yeah.
Woo. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's just acknowledgement of the sample, not necessarily a judgment of the sample. So when I heard it, I was like, oh, phone tap. Then I'm hearing Carl Thomas harmonizing and Faith starts singing. I was like, yo, this shit crazy. That shit was getting played in the club.
Yeah, it was.
You know what I'm saying? For the two-steppers out there, you two-step, get your two-step on in there. But nah, that's definitely one of my favorites.
All right, Tom, what's one of yours, bro?
Bro, you brought one of mine earlier when you hit me, dog, and it's a joint that I made sure we played every time we had a party, and that was that Case Touch Me Deep, man. That Case, man, and that PSK was School D. But I'm gonna tell you, that song banged. You know what I'm saying? Like, people ran to the dance floor when that joint came on. When Fox hit that joint, yeah, man, that was a classic. Man, it sounds dope right now.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, right now,
it's slowed down, right? The beat for Touch Me, Tease Me, like it compared to PSK, it's kind of
it's slowed down. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That's what makes it extra crazy because it almost sounds different, but it's just slowed down.
That blend, it's dope, man. I love that song, man.
Now again, for me, half of all these joints I didn't like at first, and I just came to love. Now I will say, I Can Love You. I love that from the door. Like that was from the door. The door. The Touch Me, Tease Me. Again, y'all know my face. These niggas. Like that was my thing. All through the 90s.
Too, so your ears
right.
Are different.
So I'm looking at different. For people watching too, when you look at all ththese records behind me, this is what Diggers was doing. We was trying to find that obscure sample that nobody had ever heard in their life.
Digging in the crates.
Digging in the crates. And we wanted to make something that was just so obscure it's almost like when you try to do things to impress other people that do what you do. So if you a chef and you make a meal, you want to try to impress another chef. So that's what we were doing as producers. It was like, yo, you wanted somebody to be like, yo, where'd you get that sample? Like Bobbito talks about in his book called Where'd You Get Those? Talking about sneakers. That's like the ultimate level as a sneakerhead. That's what you want. I never forget, I was somewhere trying to get fitted for a suit, and the dude could not stop looking at my ones. I had the Heritage ones on. He was like, yo, where the fuck did you get those, bro? That's the highest form of flattery that you can get as a sneakerhead, is somebody being like, where'd you get those? Or, yo, I ain't know those even came out. As a producer, the highest form of flattery is another producer being like, yo, what sample is that? Yo, where'd you get that from? Like, nobody's gonna ask you where you got Juicy from because we know where the fuck you got Juicy from. You know what I mean? So some of the, and it's those things that you don't understand unless you're a sneakerhead. Like Tanya be like, yo, why are you so proud that this nigga asked you where you got your sneakers from? I'm like, nigga, that's part of the game. That's part
exclusive.
Of the that's part of the reason why you play the game. You know what I mean? Like, and if you're not a sneakerhead, you're not gonna understand that's a huge compliment. Same thing. Somebody may be like, yo, I don't give a fuck where the sample came from. Is the song good? So like you said, Tony, that's a good point. Me being a producer, I'm always like, oh, these niggas just gonna loop up here.
Your ears gonna be different.
Right. What we gonna do? Now, of course, Touch Me, Tease Me, love it. Crazy beat, crazy song. Fox killed it. Another joint I didn't mind, Monica's Just One of These Days.
Of course.
Over LL Cool J's Backseat of My Jeep. You know what I'm saying? Vague, I remember in college, we used to call this the period song. We'd be like, oh, the joints on their period. It's just one of them days. You know what I mean? I always wondered, JR, you're the R&B guru. Did it ever come out that it was about that? Or that's just niggas and
Monica says that now. Monica talks about it now. She was like, back when I was 14, I was talking about stuff that nobody was talking about. So the rumor mill was always it was about periods. You know what I'm saying? That was the rumor. But now she talks. Before she was just like, you know, when she was 14, 15, she wasn't saying that in her interview and shit. But now she's saying that I was talking about topics that wasn't discussed. You know what I mean? Because the other girls wasn't talking about stuff like this. I was.
Tell me this, because and for people watching who are younger, there was a whole lot of rumors because we didn't have no Twitter. We ain't have no TikTok. There was no internet. So these rumors would just be like, to this day, we got to do a show about R&B rumors. Did God really say dumb bitch? Or is that just...
Okay, so I think we talked about that in our show. And would it be far-fetched from Aaron to say it? No.
Not at all.
Like, at all. But his brother came out on the show, and then Teddy Riley said, no, it was an ad-lib. Now, if you hear it, it sounds like it, but...
Yeah, nigga, I need to know what that ad-lib is.
With Aaron, it wouldn't be far-fetched if he did say it. So...
Yeah, I need Tay to say what was the ad-lib. Okay, if he's not saying that, then what is he saying? You know, one of the reasons I love Combs reminded me of Seth, where he said me and my friends arguing over if he said dumb bitch. You know what I mean? Like, Tom put that in there, and that was so dope because it was. Same thing with Week. During the time, not Week, Downtown. When it dropped, was SWV like, yo, this is about eating out? Or...
Oh, Lily was.
Even at the time. So at the time.
Oh, at the time, Lily was. She was. Okay. Coco didn't. Coco thought she was singing about shopping. That's what she thought.
She thought that?
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
And she got the record to do it. She was like, are we talking about shopping? And her A&R was like, no. And Lily was like, I knew damn well this wasn't about no damn shopping. Like, no. Like, not.
Because I'm like, because back in the day, we didn't have all these podcasts. So the only place you could really even talk about it is on BET. And I can't see SWV coming on BET talking about, this song is about oral sex. Like,
no, it wasn't. And then it was more of the remixes that gave you because I mean, the original version of Downtown, whatever. But they had the wetter remix and the extra wetter remix and all of that. So it was like, okay, now we know what this shit is about.
Yeah, we know. Yeah, they was giving all the clues and shit.
Yo, all the clues were there. Like, I mean, come on.
All right, JR, what's another joint you wasn't mad at?
Okay, damn, that was a good one. The firm one, I was gonna go with that one. But I'm gonna say Faith, No Other Love, and she used the Biggie Warning.
Mm-hmm.
And that was literally a year later. Like literally. Because Faith came out in 95 of August and Big was September. So that was 9 months later. She used the sample of Warning, which is, we know, Isaac Hayes Walk On By.
Was she on Bad Boy?
Of course.
Yeah, she was on Bad Boy.
So yeah, all right.
Yeah, right. So
they had to set the album off with that because you already into it. You already in it.
Yep. So
Veg, what's another R&B joint that you messed with?
Maya's Best Part of Me Part 2, which sampled Make the Music With Your Mouth Biz, produced by Trackmasters.
Yeah.
I mean, I always loved
that. That was crazy.
So when I heard that Jay-Z spitting on that shit too, like it just was like perfect. Like I didn't even now that was the time when I didn't even blink. Like to your point, Tone, I was like, I can't wait till Friday. Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's Marky.
Make the music with your mouth, Biz, right here. R.I.P. Bismarck.
Shoot, since we on that sample, I love changes I've been going through with Mary. So she used that same
Yeah.
So,
that shit crazy.
Hey, quick side note. Y'all don't mind, let me plug real quick.
Nah.
You just said something about Bismarck. Tomorrow, old school throwback Bismarck article gonna be on Tone in the Dome. Also, JR, for you, I'll tag you. Old school Mary J. Blige article I've been sitting on forever, so I'll make sure.
You know I'm there. You know I'm there.
Sorry, Kill. I had to plug that in.
Shit,
it was right on time.
That's what it's all about. Plug everything you doing, bro. Plug everything you doing. Before we you just did Vague. Tone, you just went? Nah, Vague, you went. Tone, what you got next?
I was thinking about, I don't know if this applies, but I was listening to was it the Bull Rim soundtrack the other day. The SWV anything. Did we talk about that?
Nah, but that's crazy too.
That's what Wu-Tang was.
Yeah, that's the Wu-Tang one, Off the Above the Rim. Yep.
Love that joint, man.
Crazy. A joint I got that a lot of people don't remember. JR, you may remember him. Alfonso Hunter.
Yes.
Black of the Berry. He was with the Def Squad, but he had this song on the album. It wasn't a single. It was the last song on the album called Quiet Time.
Quiet Time, yeah.
And
I remember that.
He samples the Heath Brothers' Smiling Billy Sweet, which is Nas's One Love. But he doesn't sample the drum. So he doesn't sample Q-Tip's beat. He just samples the sample of the Heath Brothers. So it's him singing over One Love, but without the drums. And it's a banger. So people who haven't heard it, go listen to that joint.
Damn,
Quiet Time to Play.
Yeah. Woo!
Yeah, I love that joint. Now, here's a question. Because one time I was in the studio with Bink, and another song that I had on here was Anthony Hamilton's Mama Knew Love. You know what I mean? It sets off coming where I'm from.
Yes.
His sophomore album. And Jermaine Dupri uses Jay-Z's The Blueprint, Mama Loves Me, which was the last song on The Blueprint, which is produced by Bink. And Bink felt some kind of way like, damn, similar to kind of like what I said about, why you ain't reach out to me to just produce it for you or whatever like that. And it had me thinking like, it was just weird. It was crazy because in one breath, producers are like, yo, why you suing me for sampling your shit? But then when they get sampled, it's like, where's my money? You know what I mean? Like, it's like, it can't be both. It's like, that's just part of the game. Like, if you a drug dealer, guess what? You just gotta know sometimes you're gonna get robbed. That's just part of the game of the game. So, maybe you got jacked once, but bro, did you clear every sample you ever used? Probably not. You know what I mean? So it's hard to be picky about it. Veg, did you have any more joints from the R&B tip? And then we're gonna go back to the hip hop shit.
No, I think y'all named some of my other ones. So,
all right, JR, what you got left? I know you got some joints.
Oh, I got plenty left. Okay, I got there's a lot gonna be coming from Mary. So A Tribe Called Quest, Hot Sex with Love at First Sight.
Mm-hmm. You like that? I'm shocked.
I like Love at First Sight.
I'm shocked. I'm just shocked that JR would have liked that. I thought he would have been like, nah, that shit whack.
Nah, I did, and maybe also with the hype that her and Puff was getting back together, so maybe that added to it. But I love it, and then how Method Man came on in it, so that Little Kim Drugs with Jagged Edge did a song "Addicted to Your Love" on their album, and they used Little Kim's Drugs, and that was literally like 6 months after. So that was a joint. Brian McKnight, I know we don't like him now, but You Should Be Mine.
What the boy do? What he do? I know he don't like it. I know he be beefing with his son, right?
But his son passed.
Oh.
Yes, his oldest son passed. Yep, and they were beefing. So, and the baby, his mother came out and spoke about it. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, so he passed. So yeah, so everybody is like not liking Brian right now, like at all. He's the worst nigga ever right now. So yeah, so You Should Be Mine using Public Enemy's Don't Believe the Hype.
I don't know if I heard that.
But they use, the JB's Answer My Pants. They use that. But you heard You Should Be Mine. Yeah, you did with Mace.
With Mace on it.
Yeah.
I do not remember Brian McKnight singing over Public Enemy. So I'm gonna have to go find that. I'm gonna have to find. That's called You Should Be Mine.
Yes, and as soon as you hear it, you will be like, "Oh, okay, I remember." That was really his first really crossover success for real.
Yeah,
on the Anytime record.
Hey man, Brian McKnight is number one now.
I just said it. He is.
Nigga, he a scumbag.
Yeah.
Damn. How you go from Take 6 to being a scumbag? Like, god damn, nigga. How the mighty have fallen, man. Like that's like going from the wine. That's like going from the Winans and be like, that nigga BB is scumbag. Like, god damn, nigga.
He's bad, bro.
You're the Winans family, nigga. How you a scumbag now?
Yeah, People look at him real foul now, bro. Am I lying, JR?
Nah, it's bad. That's why I was telling before you came out. I was like, it's bad. It's bad. All right. The last two I got is I wish what's her name was here. Force was here because I'm gonna do the Lord Nas bracket.
Oh, I thought it was some Boys II Men heart melty shit.
Oh no! You know she loved that Allure album down. So Head Over Heels with MC Shan's The Bridge.
Oh yeah.
And the last one is Big the What, and Mary used that for the I'm Going Down remix.
That was banging. That I'm Going Down remix was dope. I remember that shit.
Yes, her and Mr. P.
Yeah,
yep.
I forgot about that, but that was a banger.
Yeah, but you called it with the Think Cracker Man. That's when I didn't like. Like, nah.
It's so funny because, like you said, with Mary, she can't do no wrong. Like, to me, she's Steph Curry. Like, I don't care where Steph shoots from. That's your shot. That's your shot. That's your game. Don't change a goddamn thing for nothing. You ain't ruined nothing. Same way I feel like Mary. Mary, you sing over whatever you want, Mary. You know what I mean? Sing over the what? Sing over, well, not now, but you know, I mean, circa 1995.
Don't dance on tables for chicken wraps.
I knew it.
Definitely a low point, but I still love my Mary.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, like I was crushed. Like,
do it.
The only thing I had left was Alicia Keys' girlfriend. She's over Brooklyn Zoo.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I used to mess with that joint.
Which album was that on?
That was on the first one. The first one.
Yeah.
Song's named Money. Yep.
That was a dope album too, anyway.
Yeah, very dope album that a lot of people don't talk about. I'm telling you, me and Vega always talk about, like, people really try to act like Alicia didn't have bangers. Like, Alicia had hits, big songs, big songs, like, always on the radio, always had a slow jam in the tuck off of each album. That joint with Meth in the video and Common was in the video. Like, she stayed with a slow jam banger, you know, in the cut. I don't know. Was it Ski? Somebody was saying she fell off when she when she got with Swiss because women didn't like that. She was with Swiss when you don't think so.
I think
I just know somehow.
I think Alicia dropped when she left the piano and wanted to start dancing and doing all of that. I think that was it. It was like once she left and she came out with no one after that, it was like, ugh. Here we go.
Yeah, she kind of loved what made people love her.
Yeah,
more
that's true indeed.
I mean, some people was mad about, you know, Swiss left his wife for Alicia, and when did they start dating and and all this stuff like that. But you know, at the end of the day, people got past that because at some point, Swiss was going on vacation with his whole family, with the ex-wife, with Alicia, the kids, everybody. So they got past that.
And you can't even be mad because the music she gave, because I mean, come on, when she gave us I'm Ready with Drake, she was with Swiss. So that's a banger to me. So
yeah.
And the joint with Maxwell afterwards and all of that. So yeah.
I can't call it. Rel, what's good, bro?
What up, man?
What's up, Ray?
Hey. You all right, bro?
Yeah, man. I'm supposed to been off work, man. Like these clients, man. These clients.
Yeah.
I'm being too nice. It's about to change. Yo,
you know what? Don't listen to this Clips album at midnight and then go in there on Monday and
right.
Smack the niggas. Like
somebody gonna get a Mike Tyson blow to the face.
Yeah, I'm about to say, bro. You need to listen to some gospel over this weekend, bro. So you knock somebody out. You gonna fuck around, knock somebody out. Veg, what hip hop joints you got left on your list?
You want me to just run through them?
Well, you know what? Let's let Rel live some, because Rel, we probably may touch on some things we already touched on, but what are some of the loops that you didn't mind, popular loops you ain't mind people using?
Okay, and you can correct me if it doesn't classify as a loop, because I wasn't sure if it.
That's all good.
Okay, Lucchini.
That's a loop, yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Redman's Tonight's the Night.
No. But we're talking more so about popular songs, like that you knew the original samples. So that you knew the original sample, like Juicy. You knew Juicy Fruit, or you knew.
I love the dope.
I wasn't mad at that. The Renee and
I
Amber joint.
love
Wasn't either. I love that joint.
Yo, here's the wild part. I told you some boy on Twitter was like, that was under like both of those collabs, Brooklyn's Finest and I Love the Dough were underwhelming. And I'm like, no, they weren't, nigga. Stop.
Oh,
No, they weren't.
What?
I don't, man, who? I mean, I don't fucking know.
Yeah,
Somebody on Twitter.
Yeah, somebody on Twitter. Somebody on Twitter. I don't know, but I'm like, underwhelming. I Love the Dough, bro. You out your rabbit ass mind, nigga. I ain't know nobody who didn't love I Love the Dough.
For real.
You know why? Because Jay-Z said, "You in the crib screaming the fight song. I'm in the 1500 streets
Watching Tyson.
song. Like,
Same
Same night,
Same
same
fight.
fight.
I'm in the crib.
Cass ain't playing.
Right.
Yo, that's great, man. Yo, I would have just. Man, that's an album hip hop owed us, man.
Jay
That's
was
an
on that
album that
big
hip
boy
hop
talk,
owed
boy.
us. Yo, could you imagine a '96 Jay-Z big album produced by the Hitman, Ski, Primo, and maybe like I don't know, like a Clark Kent? God bless the dead with Clark, but
that commission shit was gonna be nuts.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I don't know because Steve's was in it and Baltimore was in it, so you know what I mean, like. Little Caesar and Charlie Baltimore was gonna be in that shit too.
That's gonna get about 2-3 verses on the whole album. That's gonna be, hey kid, that's gonna be doing skits, bro.
Nah, Big was fucking Baltimore at the time. You gonna get
She got a verse on song.
whoever you smashing gonna get a couple of verses. You know what I mean. She gonna be like, "I'll take care of you later, daddy." You know what I mean, and he gonna be like, "All right." Give it 2 verses, you know what I mean? That's easy. Like what Chris Rock said, you can't lend no money to no girl you sleeping with, nigga. I paid you back last night, nigga. You better give me some verses. Right. What else you got, bro?
It was a good day. Ice Cube.
That's a good call. Nobody named that, and we damn sure all knew that Osley Brothers joint. You know what I mean? That's a good call right there.
We knew that one. And I don't know if any of us had a problem with it. Maybe somebody did, but I didn't.
Not at all.
Nobody.
Didn't even cross my mind. Which brings me back to context, because I guarantee you, if that shit said produced by the Trackmasters, niggas would have been like, "Oh, this some bullshit."
Yeah, especially during that time.
What else you got? Yeah, yeah.
How did everybody like More Money, More Problems?
I liked it. I
didn't like it at first, but it grew on me. It grew on me big time. And again, that's like, bro, that's kind of been like me the whole show would be like, oh, these niggas. Oh, but I like it after a while. You know what I mean? Because it was like, damn, Diana Ross, I'm coming out. But I kind of almost now knew to expect that from Big just because Puff was there. So I kind of knew that there was going to be a percentage of the album that was going to be shit like that. You know what I mean? So, but that's Kelly Price singing, right, JR?
Yeah,
Kelly Price. Yeah.
So after a while, I mean, I'm not mad. If you put it on today, it's not gonna make a best of Big mixtape for me. But if you play it at a party, I'm gonna rhyme with it, and I'm not gonna be mad about it or nothing.
Okay. Yeah, because when I actually liked it when I first heard it, and the reason why is because during that time, I was trying to, get songs that hip hop songs that my mom would like too. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
And when she heard it, she's like, she knew the sample immediately, so she's like, she liked it. Like that was like the first hip hop album. Like she would, even though it's some raunchy stuff on there on that album.
I mean, yeah, I'm fucking you tonight. Yeah,
right. But it was a lot of production that she remembers from music that she came up with, and it kind of made her like want to listen to the album. Like, you know what I'm saying? She liked it, so that's why.
Dope. That's dope. The funny thing is that a lot of parents, I felt like my parents' age, my mom didn't trip, but my dad sometimes did. They'd be like, nigga, ain't nothing but the fucking JBs. I'll tell y'all rap niggas ain't doing shit. They just rhyming over James Brown. I know that shit. So it was dope that your mom wasn't like, she looked at it like, oh, I know that song. Okay, let me hear what they doing. Versus I felt like my parents' generation, the people who are like 75 and 76 now, those parents were, I think, more like, Nigga, all you doing is, I think everything in hip hop for that generation looked crazy. You know what I mean? Like I was telling that to somebody the other day. Could you imagine the first time somebody saw their son spinning on their head breakdancing? Like, nigga, what the fuck is you doing? Why are you spinning on your head? You gonna break your neck, dumb nigga. Like, fuck is you doing? Like, why are you spinning on your back? Like, what? Yeah, like, yo, babe, come downstairs. Your son down here fucking messing up the cardboard. Like really, I know it looks cool now. Like Run DMC said, like, they hated their name. It's like, we get it. You hear Run DMC now, it's just a staple. But imagine the first time hearing that, like, his name is horrible. Like, can you imagine the first time Tone, you coming downstairs and your son spinning on his head?
Like, dude, I didn't take you to the hospital to get an evaluation.
Exactly. You'd be like, yo, or think about all the things in hip hop. You broke into a store to steal paint, to break into the subway station, to go spray a subway car.
Right.
And now I got to come down here and pay a fine to get you out of jail?
Crazy when you think about it.
I was about to ask you that. Because I wasn't off the porch. How was Graph looked at by the older people? Like,
the people that I knew, well, see, you know, bro, there wasn't a lot of Graph uptown, like beautiful Graph. Right. Most of the Graph that was uptown was just simple tags. It wasn't no like subway art or whatever like that. So I mean, around our way, it was like, yo, stop painting on the fucking walls. What's wrong with y'all? Like, you destroying people's property. You know what I mean? Now I don't know, Veg. I don't know. Maybe how your moms or your aunt, how did they feel about, like, you know, the Graph on the subway? And because I felt like that was like the beautiful graffiti. Like, that was like, yo, these niggas are real artists versus just some nigga tagging his name on the side of the cubicle lounge or some shit like that.
That shit was vandalism to them. Remember, like in the 80s, the inside of the train was tagged up just as much as the outside. So that shit covered everything. To me, it's dope because it's like I'm reading all the names, I'm seeing all the stuff, but especially when I think back about it. But at the time, my mother was like, "Why the fuck they writing all over the trains and shit?" Like, and I'm like, "Nah," because you see. But then I'm like, "Hey, she got it right. They just fucking niggas just drawing on trains and shit. Like, it's crazy." But
right. So I mean, when you think about hip hop, when you go back, it looks crazy. I remember when I told my parents I wanted 2 turntables in '84. They like, "Why you need 2, nigga? Like, we only need 1." Like, you know what I mean? Like, so a lot of the stuff that we was doing really looked fucking crazy. Like, yo, what do y'all like you said, Tone, like, do I need to go get you tested?
Right.
You know, it would be like, yo, what you know, especially now where every kid just, if your kid can't sit still for 1 second, he got ADHD. I'm like, can we stop just throwing that on every kid? You know what I mean? Right. You definitely would have every kid being ADHD spinning on your head and spinning on your back. You know what I mean? But yeah, so crazy how times change. But my bad, bro. Keep your list going.
It ain't hard to tell. I don't know if that counts though, because he didn't technically loop it, but you knew where the beat was coming from.
Nah, because it's funny, bro, that you said that, because one of the first things that I was saying about is like we all have different definitions for a loop. So like, really, a loop is just having anything played over and over again on repeat, whether it's a song you know, a song you don't know. But I think a lot of people use the word loop as it being a bad thing, like you just looped up, you know, I'm coming out by Diana Ross for More Money, More Problems. You know, I think the thing that I didn't mind about it ain't hard to tell because the sample was filtered for the most part. You know what I mean? So it didn't feel like SWV's what's that joint, JR?
Right here, Human Nature. Right here.
Right. Like, it didn't feel like that. But I will say this, Ralph, since you missed this, how did you feel when you heard Life's a Bitch?
Oh, that was on my list. I liked it.
You liked it. Now tell me this.
That's another song that
everybody knew.
No. And they like, and I think the thing that they liked that was the saxophone at the end. They're like, well, who's that? And I was
Oh,
like, well, that's his dad.
oh,
You know what I'm saying?
him
So they
playing
kinda,
Alu playing the trumpet at the end.
the trumpet.
Right.
I'm sorry, and they like, you know, they like that, and I'm like, well, that's his dad. So it gave me something to be like, yo, well, listen to, you know what I mean? Because at that time they didn't want to hear nothing I was listening to, but that was another one that was like everybody knew the song.
Right.
But
Now,
you
I
didn't like
didn't
it?
like it. I didn't like it at first. I of course
Hold up.
listened to AZ's verse because it was crazy. But in that album, in the context of that album, I never understood why more people didn't see that sticking out like a sore thumb, because we all knew it was the Gap Band. Now tell me this: did you have a problem with Nas's "If I Ruled the World"?
I don't want to say a problem, but I didn't like it as much as those other songs. Like I didn't like it as much as the other songs. It kind of grew on me, but again though, this is around the Trackmasters time, so the stigma was starting to happen. Like
Right.
why the? I know people that was like, why the fuck did he put this out? Like,
Right.
you know what
But
I'm
that's
saying?
the thing. I was saying that it's about context, because people didn't have a problem with LES looping up the Gap Band. So then why did so many people have a problem with the Trackmasters looping
Right.
up Friends by Houdini? Vague made a great point. Friends is a hip hop song. So it ain't even looping up so R&B shit. But I felt like if it said produced by the Trackmasters, it don't matter what it was. I know people who say to this day that it was written is trash. I know people in real life, not on Twitter, real life, who be like, yo, that album is whack. And I'm like, yo, did you hear Shootouts? Did you hear Watch Them Niggas? Did you hear that shit with Mobb Deep? Like, how, the message? Like, how can you say, but I swear that to this day, it's because it says produced by the Trackmasters.
And if you listen to Shootouts and don't tell them who produced it, the names, like if they had to guess the names you would get, they'd be like, Premier produced that, or the Riz, and the Trackmasters produced Shootouts, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That beat is hard, like, but that name, bro, that name did it. Yeah, they had a stigma.
Because, and it was a line being drawn. It was us versus them. It was the Boom Bappers versus. It really was. It almost felt like strictly hip hop versus Rap Attack. So it was like, if you wore a backpack, you could not like the Trackmasters. Like, it was literally, you could not. Niggas was on strike. Like, you know, in Philly, the strike just ended. You cannot cross the picket line. If you are a boom bapper, you cannot say you like the Trackmasters. Even if deep down inside in your car, at your quiet times, you playing that shit, you cannot come out and openly admit that you like those songs, because your boom bap card would get revoked. You know what I mean? So it's crazy. But what else you got on your joint, bro?
Question: does the Marry My Life count?
With the Brand Nubians, with the Royers?
Yeah.
I mean, it could. It kind of falls in the same place of the Alfonso Hunter. Like, he didn't jack Q-Tip for One Love. He just used the original sample. Because as soon as I heard My Life, the first thing I thought was Brand Nubians. I didn't think Royers.
Okay.
It went straight to Brand Nubians. Like, oh, she's singing over Wake Up. Okay.
My uncle went straight Roy Ayers, because that was, you know what I'm saying. But that's one of my favorite songs ever. So
yeah,
of course I like that. I wanted to hear what some of y'all had, because or did everybody say all theirs?
No, people still got some vague. What you got left on your list?
I got two more. So this is a sample. Trees Russian, Remind Me. I love the Condom joint, reminded me itself. And I really love, like, I used to be, because I didn't have the album at the time, I used to be thirsty for this video to come on. Intelligent Hoodlum, Grand Groove. Like, it was almost like he wasn't rhyming over Remind Me, even though I knew that's part of the reason why I liked it, but, you know, his lyrics and the whole joint just made it sound so dope, because that record is timeless. So, you know, rhyming over is just, you know, you get to take advantage of that. The last one I have, the sample, and the list is crazy. I only put a couple of people down. Lynn Collins Think. So you got Rob Bass.
That's
and
crazy.
Rock. It Takes Two. And the other one I wanted to point out was Chub Rock, You Bad Chubs. Like him. And it took me a minute at first because it's like I remembered it being in there, but I had to listen to it. And then I was like, oh yeah, it's like it's right there. So same joint. But yeah, and probably a couple of others, but that's what I had.
Yeah, Tone, what you got left?
You talking about a hip hop joint with a R&B sample?
Yeah.
I'm going back to Bad Boy, man. I had that Feel So Good with Mace. You know what I'm saying? That Cool in the Gang sample that with the Hollywood Swinging or whatever.
Yeah, Hollywood Swinging, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I like that song. It's a feel good joint. You know what I'm saying? Just like the name of the song. Then of course, Been Around the World, man, with Big Mace and Puff and all them with David Bowie.
Yeah, David Bowie. Yep.
Yeah, Let's Dance or whatever. Yeah. So I like both of them songs. I mean, they obviously rips, but it worked for what Puff was trying to do.
Yeah, the Been Around the World remix. That shit, I love that shit. That's
crazy. Yeah,
that's crazy. Yeah, that shit crazy. Bro, I had Sugar Hill by AZ, the One More Chance remix produced by Rashid Smith with the Stay With Me joint. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't mad at that joint. I had Paid in Full, Eric B and Rakim. With the Dennis Edwards, Don't Look No Further. Poetic Justice with Kendrick, with the Anytime, Any Place with Janet. And I had to Recognize remix Smith & Wesson over the Grover Washington, Just the Two of Us.
Yeah.
And that's a perfect example because at the same time, Will Smith had Just the Two of Us, you know what I mean, with his son, you know what I mean, in the video and everything like that. And niggas was like, yo, that shit whack, but niggas love Recognized by Smith & Wesson. You know what I mean? So, again, I think it just comes down. I think so much of the 90s just came down to the name because if they would have found out that Recognized was produced by the Trackmasters again, or if Puff did it, I could see niggas hating that shit. Myself included. I've never excluded myself from this shit. I probably would have hated it too, which was just a testament to how much we fucking hated the Trackmasters. I think the reason I got a little more respect for them was because I got the advanced copy of it was written, and I'm in my mom's basement trying to figure out who produced these songs. And I had RZA doing shootouts. That was undeniable. I was like, oh shit, that's crazy. RZA's on the new album. That shit crazy. I thought, watch them niggas. I was like, oh, this could be Pete. This could be Large Pro. I don't know who it could be. So when I found out the Trackmasters did all that, it actually made me respect them a whole lot more. Whereas I think if I would have not got the advanced copy, I may have been in the same boom bap mindset of, oh, fuck this album because it's say produced by the Trackmasters. Because I swear, if we go back in time and we change them credits and those same beats, nothing changes. And that whole album is produced by Q-Tip and Large Professor and Pete Rock and LES and Havoc and RZA. That shit's a 5 mic classic, eyes closed. And the niggas ain't changed a thing on that album.
You know what's funny, kid? Don't have to have 2 songs on there.
Yeah,
you know
he does.
Then you got Live Squad on there.
Yeah.
You know, like Primo did I Gave You Power.
Yo, Live Nigga.
I don't understand. I didn't understand in '96.
Yo, Live Nigga rap, that Havoc beat.
Shit crazy.
Nigga.
Yeah.
Nigga.
Yeah,
Live Nigga rap.
That's right. Yeah, that's
nigga.
The setup.
But you know what it comes down to? Think about this. In the Lord's year of 2025, after what Nas just did, never been done before, niggas is still talking about why he ain't with Primo and Pete Rock and Q-Tip. Like 30 years later, niggas still can't get over, oh, I don't care if he did that with Hit Boy, he should have done this or that. I'm like, yo, this nigga just made fucking hip hop history. And all you niggas is still waiting for is him to get back with Pete and Premier. Like, this is how stuck. And now I understand what Nas meant for you stuck in the 90s niggas.
Yep.
I understand because it's 2025, nigga. I just dropped 6 crazy albums, at least 3 of them. I'm not mad if niggas say 4 of them shits are classics. I'm not mad at that because I personally think KD1, KD3, and Magic are all classics in my eyes. You know what I mean? KD2 is a strong 4.5 push. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, this has never been done, and you still stuck on Premiere?
Hey,
Like
kid,
we still stuck?
hey, if they thought that Large Professor produced Magic 1, they'll be saying the top 5 Nas album, especially KD3.
Yeah,
Let me explain something to you. Let me explain something to you.
Yeah.
Y'all know I'm always like, I don't want to hear Nas and Primo. I don't need that shit. When Magic came out and it said Primo and he's doing the scratches, niggas was like, see, Kill, I told you that nigga Primo still got. I'm like, nigga, that's Hit Boy, nigga. Primo only doing the scratches. That's it. And let me explain this to people because y'all Twitter, y'all niggas weird. You know what I mean? Let me explain. I'm not disrespecting the legacy of Premier. Premier to me is my 1A to 1B producer with Jay Dilla. Probably if you put gun to my head, it's 1A to Primo. I'm giving his all his props, but at the end of the day, if niggas are only calling you to do scratches, something is wrong. Something is wrong. Because niggas aren't calling you to come in and produce anymore. I want to know, how did this phone call go for you got it right there, Tone, right behind you. Life is good, right? Locomotive, right? Niggas is like, yeah, Kill, I told you Large Pro still got beats. Nigga, no ID did the beats.
No
Large
ID
Pro was
did.
just talking on the hook. But how does that conversation go? Yo, Paul, come down to the studio. All right, let me get my SP. Nah, nigga. You don't need to bring the SP, my nigga. We don't need that. We just want you to come through and talk some shit. That's all. Like,
Bring yourself.
don't bring the SP.
I
Don't
never
even
thought about it like that.
unplug
It's
it.
hilarious.
Don't unplug it, my nigga. Don't you unplug that SP. Okay? You just come through by yourself. Because essentially, that's what you're saying. I mean, you're telling a producer like Premier, don't come through with the MP. Just come through with your turntables. We just want you to do scratches, my nigga. That's all we need from you. You know what I mean? And here's the thing, people, don't get mad at me because I'm talking about it. Go get mad at Nas. Why didn't Nas get Primo to do more? Don't get mad at me, get mad at Nas. Why didn't Nas say, yeah, Large Pro, bring the SP through. Let's get busy. Niggas always be like, Kill, you talking shit. Yo, go talk shit to your favorite rapper, my nigga. Because they the ones who not making the albums with the niggas. Fuck you, get mad at me. This is misplaced anger. This is misplaced anger, nigga. You need to get mad at the goddamn rappers who you want. Don't get mad at me because these are the facts. All I'm saying is facts. I'm not giving my opinion. Tone, did Large Professor do anything on Life is Good?
No.
Did Large Professor do anything on any King's Disease?
Nope.
That's all I'm saying. The last time
it was Nas' decision, to your point.
I didn't do it. All I'm doing is repeating facts, good people. Don't get mad at me for fucking telling the truth.
What was his last joint? You're the Man, right? Stillmatic?
Stillmatic. You're the Man and Rewind.
Rewind.
And they was fire.
They was both fire. But that was what, 2002?
2001.
That's 2001. That's 24 years ago. I'm sure Nas got Large Professor's number. So again, don't get mad at me for telling the truth. Go get mad at Nas. Don't at me, at Nas. Like, nigga, this nigga Kill was saying you ain't called Large Professor in 24 years. Why don't you call him? Don't at me. Nigga, I ain't talking shit. I'm just telling you the truth.
See how far that...
Niggas be daydreaming. Niggas be daydreaming in their beds, like sitting up looking at the ceiling, like, what if me and Nas were friends and we both went into the casino business together? Like, niggas be daydreaming about shit like that. Like, nigga,
it's a disrespect to Hit Boy because you think about Hit Boy doing, like, you think about Magic 1, you got speeches and dedication and all that. You think about KD3, you got Thun. Thun sound like some shit that Havoc would have done or some of these QB niggas would have done.
Yo, Thun is a Queen's anthem. I called some of my Queens niggas. I said, yo, I'm listening to Thun. This shit is hard as hell. Would you call this a Queen's anthem? And they was like, yeah. I'm like, yo, this nigga Nas and Hit Boy made a Queen's anthem. And niggas is mad?
They made a boom bap album with Magic 1.
How are y'all niggas mad? But they're mad because they stuck in the 90s niggas who still want him to be with Pete Rock Be happy Common got with Pete Rock. Be happy. Like, I feel like this is some shit where, like, I don't know if your niggas ever be like, yo, man, why don't you get back with your old girl? Nigga, why you so pressed on fucking? Like, what's wrong with y'all? Like, I'm not with it no more. It's over. Like, I moved on. Like, you still talking about, man, man, we really like Denise, man. What happened to Denise? Nigga, she cheated on me. Nigga, she gone. It's over. Like, what? Why we still here? Like, again, people don't know. I don't know if y'all saw this. Some nigga, and I don't know who this nigga is. He was like, yeah, I feel some kind of way about Jay-Z because he ain't helping Dame Dash out. Woo, woo, woo. I'm like, my nigga, do you know what went down between them? Like, nigga, number one, mind your fucking business, my nigga. This ain't got nothing to do with you.
That's it right there. That should have ended.
That's it right there. This don't got nothing. This don't got nothing.
It was a dude, Ray Daniels, man.
And who is Boy? Like, these boys just be popping up like life coaches, like out of nowhere, like herpes bumps. Like, everybody life coach did that.
I don't know if he ever done work with them or not, business with them or not. I don't know, but I didn't get that far.
But here's the thing. My thing is, you know what, my nigga? If you think that's true, then I want you to go help some nigga you don't fuck with no more. Since you want Jay to go help a nigga he don't fuck with no more, do me this justice, my nigga. Lead the challenge then. Go call up a nigga who you don't fuck with.
Even though they got this kind of past with issues or whatever, you still should help do that. I'm like, you talking about helping someone out who, well, look, we had business together, we sold out, whatever. You got your money, I got mine, I moved on. But then you actually been talking shit about me for the last 15, 20 years on social media. Nah, bro. You can't talk about me for 10 years and then be like, oh man, shoot me something. Don't work that way. Don't matter how rich I am, dog. Should have kept your mouth.
But at the end of the day, like I tell niggas, you lead the brigade, my nigga.
Yeah.
Who don't you fuck with in your life?
Cash app that nigga some money then, right?
There you go. And don't cash app him 100, my nigga. Cash app that nigga 10 racks right now. Some nigga you don't fuck with no more. Then talk about with you. But number one, like you said, bro, at the end of the day, stop minding other niggas' business. But I understand that this is how niggas get paid now. We gotta watch.
Especially niggas' pockets. Especially niggas' pockets.
Mm-hmm. And but then to be like I lost. But then to be like I lost respect for Jay.
Right.
Nigga, what you gonna say, babe?
Some people overvalue what they respect means to the person they target. Like, somebody say, yo, I don't really respect you. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, who are you? Like, you have no impact on my life and my life decisions. But I think when Jay-Z had that line on Kingdom Come, niggas said they make another move. You can't have it, Marlo. You can't have it both ways.
Hey, y'all didn't know Jay-Z responsible for world hunger. You ain't see my tweet? He's responsible for world hunger, COVID, the conflict in the Middle East, all that.
Yeah,
Jay-Z kill Jay-Z. Blame Jay-Z. He said on 444 in the end, first song, kill Jay-Z. Then remember that joint, that freestyle he did back in the day, most kings get their heads cut off. You know what I'm saying? Like, this real shit. Like, people are trying to change Jay-Z's legacy every day on Twitter. It's amazing to me, bro. It's amazing.
The amazing part that it went from there being so many Jehovah's Witnesses to now niggas being like, yo, Jay really wasn't that good. And I'm like, whoa, when did this happen? When did the memo go? Yeah, when did this memo happen where we went from Jay can't do no wrong, that like 15-minute verse he did on like a Khaled joint, niggas was like, yo, is that the greatest verse in the hip-hop history books ever? How did we go from that extreme to the extreme of now, he really wasn't that good? But it's the extremes of social media. Again, little niggas is talking to me about the Beastie Boys. They was trash. Nigga, how old was you in 1985? -10? Because motherfucker, if you was outside, nigga, you would have known that License to Ill. Nigga, any drug dealer was playing Paul Revere.
It was a class.
That bass and drug dealer niggas' cars, stop it, bro. A house party you throw on Hold It Now, Hit It, nigga, stop. Man. Stop. But you little kids that wasn't born till 92 talking about the Beastie Boys trash. I hate Twitter. I hate all you niggas. JR, you got anything left on the R&B front? You gave up everything?
Yeah, I got everything. Everything is done.
Oh, yeah, Rob, I know. I got you. I know you got Yeah, what you got?
What you think about Kenny Burke? Rising to the Top joint with OC and with P and C.
Yeah, we talked about that. Vague made a great point that so many of those joints were like block party jams. You know what I mean? So it's almost like that's where hip hop was born. That's where hip hop grew up. So niggas really didn't have a problem with those type joints like that because that's what niggas was rocking over. You know what I mean? Like Cal will always tell you like, yo, I think Kenny Burke is from Queens. So he was like, yo, that song got played at every barbecue. That shit is on some old Frankie Beverly and Mays Before I Let Go type shit in Queens. Like niggas play that shit just on repeat. Like, so again, it being there versus it be Poke and Tone going to the club fishing for a hit. You know what I mean? Where it's like, okay, we gonna go to a club. Oh, yo, niggas lose they shit when, like, I'll give you another example. I hated, and I didn't even tell y'all this. We should have did this too. Songs I hated MC Light's Upside Down. When Puff just sampled Diana Ross Upside Down. Like, I hated that. I was like, yo, come on, man. Like, this shit is just getting pathetic now. Like, you just raiding Diana Ross' whole catalog. Like, you just must have purchased the rights and just sampling everything and just, like, come on. Like, that's a good thing. And I don't know if y'all know these offhand. Were there any loops like that y'all hated? That y'all was just like, yo, this shit trash?
That would be one of them for me, for sure. Because I was just like, man, why you doing Light like this?
And I love Light too, so I was pissed off.
Like, why you doing her like this?
Yeah, but that I can't really think of too many joints that I hated, but that was definitely one of them. Because I think after a while it just got played out. It was just like, this is the Puff thing. And it came back to you really just needed the name. Because it really wasn't about the music. Because you could have your engineer loop upside down if that's what you wanted to rhyme over. You know what I mean? It's almost like with the drumless hip hop. It's not hard. Anybody could do it. Anybody who just has their iPhone download a beat app when you could just loop up anything. You're not adding drums to it. You're just looping up anything and either speeding it up or slowing it down. So it had to be about, okay, this is a Puff joint. It's produced by Bad Boy, you know, or you got Puff doing the ad-libs, or you hoping Puff will get in the video to help you sell records. You know what I'm saying? So, but then again, mention Cassidy. And then again, I think it goes back to like you were saying, Vague, there were times when people tried to do that. Smooth the Hustler is a great example. They sent the 12-inch to 889. Hustling was the A-side, where he's just rhyming over Freddie's Dead, which is, of course, popular. Nobody played that shit. And we all went to the B-side of Broken Language.
Man.
You know what I mean? So niggas was trying to do it, and then sometimes it just didn't work. Like, yo, nigga, this don't fit your style. Same thing. I always say, I bet you MOP thought they had a banger with Jay-Z over the Rocky thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, this is going to be it. We got the Rocky theme. Everybody knows that. We got Jay on it. Nothing. Triple trash cans. Nobody fucked with that shit. Then you do Annie Up. And you talking about robbing niggas, and it's your biggest fucking song ever. It's played everywhere. It's played in wrestling arenas, which is great. But again, it kind of went back to, you could try to do that shit, but it don't work. You know what I mean? It worked for Big because Big was just Big. Big is just that guy. You know what I mean? He's like, I don't think we'll ever see another Allen Iverson. Not just a great basketball player, a cultural icon. This nigga had niggas getting tattoos, cornrows, crossover. AI brought NBA to Rucker Park, like commercials. Like, I don't think we're gonna see another AI. Big is that, yeah, like Big is that person that Big could just do it all. Big could rhyme over Juicy and make it sound good. I always say this about Derringer. What made Derringer's beats sound good was you had Conway and Benny, who are two of the dopest MCs over those beats. You know what I'm saying? So you really couldn't go wrong with those two like that. Vay, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna damn, what was the record you mentioned? I was gonna say the Smooth the Hustler joint. It kind of reminded me of what I said earlier about Unbelievable and Juicy on the radio. Like that Hustler joint ain't getting no spins. Well, I got something, but
I like that
not noticeable.
Right.
But Broken Language was like on the radio, but at that time, that was what Hot 97 was. You could do that.
Right.
Back then, it was like the other shit was like, nah, we're not doing that until the late 90s.
Right. And Veg, you made a great point earlier when you talked about Unbelievable would be on the radio just as much as Juicy, if not more. Because again, that's all we knew. So even Tone, like you said, you needed the women in the club. Here's the great part. There were women going to the club before Bad Boy. I always say, like, people act like Bad Boy, the club did not exist until Bad Boy came around. Like, niggas was going to the club banging, you know, Public Enemy. People were going to the clubs playing regular hip hop. You know what I mean? So I think it's just once Bad Boy did it, and once, and again, I always talk about 1992, Paris Smith is saying, still I haven't seen one rapper living comfortably. By 1996, niggas got MTV cribs. So niggas went from being broke to having boom boom rooms and pools and 20, 30 cars. So
well, we did find out that a lot of MTV crib shit was fake.
Right. But
rented houses and rented cars and all kind of shit.
But it's almost like the mad rapper that it was like niggas is getting money. Y'all just hating on us because we getting money now. You know what I mean? And then what happened was, I mean, look at Mike Geronimo's first album. The second album, when I brought that shit, and I'm like, making moves with Puff? Like, why you making moves with Puff, my nigga? Like, why you not back in the studio with Buck Wild and fucking Mark the Spark and all the Mark Sparks and all the beat miners? Well, that shit ain't. In 97, that shit wasn't paying no bills.
What's up, man?
Well, he did, and you know, obviously it wasn't really intentional, but Shit Is Real had Free
Denise Williams,
and everybody fucked with that big time.
Loved it, bro. I can't hear either or and not play the other. If I hear Denise Williams Free, even when she's singing in my mind, I'm like, shit's real now.
Yeah,
it's real. Like, and if I hear I gotta go to Free. So I mean, like you said, we didn't have a problem. Nobody was like,
right?
Yeah, that was Herb. Nobody was like, oh, nigga, all he did was loop Denise Williams Free. Like, nah, that shit was dope. You know what I mean? But it was before we got the rules. And I think once Puff, it's like Puff bastardized hip hop. Like, it was like, yo, you're ruining the culture by doing this shit. But he was doing the same shit Herb had done, or he's doing the same shit other people had done before. But it wasn't selling records, because it did come to that place in a time where it was like, oh, you selling records? Oh, you a sellout. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Because if Shit's Real went diamond, then niggas probably would have been like, man, Mike Geronimo, you whack, man. Hip hop don't go diamond, nigga. You supposed to stay in the hood. You supposed to stay in the projects. You heard what Havoc said. No matter how much loot I get, I'm staying in the projects forever. You know what I mean? And it was the first nigga to move out to LI. So you gotta like also keep that in mind too, that I think it was the selling records thing. So it almost became like selling records was almost a curse. Like, oh, you platinum? Oh man, that's whack. But when Gang Starr went gold with Moment of Truth, hip hop celebrated. Like, look, we got a plaque. Well, wait a second, I thought getting a plaque was whack. Like, but now when one of us get a plaque, now it's good. So I get why the young boys be like, y'all be moving the goalposts, because we do sometimes. Like, I keep it a buck. We do. If getting a plaque is whack, then who gives a fuck if Gang Starr win gold? We gonna say that?
Like, it kind of I think some people like ignored the shift in the culture, and they just kind of really look at it as like Bad Boy did this bad thing and it's not hot and it took away from hip hop. But honestly, like you said, hip hop was dancing at one point. Mm-hmm. East Coast kind of got on the, realistic raps and the bars and the boom bap. Then it wasn't cool to dance, because there's a big difference between the tunnel when it's Wu and Illmatic and it's just a bunch of niggas like. But then when Bad Boy came out and more ladies are in the club and niggas like me are there because I'm only there for the ladies.
Damn right.
Then the shit switched and niggas didn't like that, right? Like, they wanted this soft shit. And they had, like you said, Kill, it was like niggas had amnesia. It was like, yo, so niggas dancing and shit's like, yo.
What's crazy, babe? Like, what's crazy, babe? All Puff and them did was take us back to, at one point, we was going to act like we forgot about Kid and Play. We forgot about Kwame. We forgot about Heavy D. We forgot about Raw Bass, Easy Rock. We forgot about all this stuff. Was nothing new. Not About Nature had joints where you dance to. I mean, I none of this stuff was new. We used to party in the 80s. We had Slick Rick and Dougie Fresh and all the stuff like that. Right. People fucking off in the club. You know what I'm saying?
Look at that Supreme Team party from the 80s. Look how they dress.
Yeah.
Look how they dancing.
Yeah.
They dancing to the hip hop. Now you trying to tell me you tougher than them?
Yeah.
Right.
You know the wild part. You know the wild part, Vega. I was just about to say, watch New Jack City and watch how the niggas came up in that club and Nino was dancing.
Right, Nino was dancing.
The biggest fucking drug dealer was sitting up there dancing. That's what we did. But like you said, hip hop went through all these phases where it's crazy because hip hop is kind of like the Wiz, where it's like, yo, the color's green, no, the color's red. Like, yo, we dance. Oh, nah, now we don't dance. Okay, now we wear jerseys. Oh no, now we don't wear jerseys. We wear button ups. You're like, no, we don't do that anymore. Like, so it's constantly trying to keep up with whatever way. Whichever way hip hop was moving. Right.
Used to dance. Father MC used to dance. I mean, come on, man. What we talking about?
Yeah, man. Like you said, hip hop amnesia. But so that's the thing. So prayerfully, everybody got a better definition of what a loop is. You know what I mean? Why, boom bappers didn't like just looping up stuff that was already a hit. It was almost like that's a cheat code, like that's too easy. You know what the shit is like to me? That shit was like when Bobito used to do this show on ESPN. It was about sneakers. And he would go to rappers and entertainers' house, and I would be like, yo, I don't like this shit, because guess what? Devin Booker should have every fucking sneaker in the world, because number one, he's on Team Jordan, and number two, the nigga's like worth $100 million. That shit is not impressive. Go to the UPS driver's house and fucking look at his collection. Come to my house and look at my fucking collection. I don't want to go to Fat Joe's house to see his collection. He should have everything because he's fucking rich. That's too easy. That's not. I want to talk to the sneakerhead who had to stand in line and had to sell these two sneakers to get this one sneaker. That's the shit I want to be about. I don't want to be fucking. Why is that impressive that Carmelo got a lot of sneakers? The nigga's a fucking basketball player, my nigga. Of course he's gonna have a bunch of sneakers. I'm gonna go with Chris Paul. He's on Team Jordan.
Right. Yes.
Of course he got player exclusives. He's a player.
Last time
you want to impress me? Come to my house and let me show you my player exclusives. I don't play for the NBA. That's when it's like, oh, that's some fly shit, Kill. How you get that?
Right.
Chris Paul, how you get that? Oh, I just called my manager and he got him. Like
NBA cats, it's not even impressive, bro. Last time I was down in Miami at Bam House, dog, because he was Nike, they was sending boxes, man, of shoes, bro. But I mean, whole closets full of shit stacked up. He don't even wear it. Bro,
but that's what I'm saying. That's not impressive to me. That's not impressive. So that's what I mean by like just looping a song that was already a hit isn't impressive to me as a producer. And like you said, so for me, the looping thing, this is a lot more personal to me. So same thing with a sneakerhead. Somebody else who's not a sneakerhead is like, well, what's the big deal if you go to Fat Joe's house? I want to see his collection. Well, the big deal is he can buy whatever the fuck he wants.
Right.
You know what I mean? The big deal with me is I was the dude who was out at 5 a.m, sitting there on the concrete, waiting for the Jordan 5 Reds to come back out in 2004. You know what I mean? Not knowing if they're gonna have your size by the time you get there, then having to go to another store and stand in another line. Like that's who I want to hear from the people who had to hustle.
Every NBA nigga got a shoe closet.
Right.
Yep.
So, like I said, that's not impressive to me. You want to impress me? Go to a regular nigga's house and show me his collection. Yo, we gotta give a shout out if you are in the DMV, and even if you're not in the DMV. August 23rd, Saturday, the Hip Hop Museum, who we partner with Apartment 5B. Yo, we got Kid and Play, Jungle Brothers, DJ Hollywood, DJ Red Alert, Dana Dane, Sweet Tea, and Kwame coming down. Who's hosting? Grandmaster Kaz and Master G. You know what I mean? All these people are being inducted. Yeah, everybody's getting inducted into the Hip Hop Hall of Fame Saturday, August 23rd. It's on a Saturday. Just did a walkthrough. It's a dope spot. Please come through. Yo, the week leading up to it, we got hip hop happy hours every night starting August 18th. We got MC Monday being hosted by who? Apartment 5B. Me, JR, Rel, Trey, Rap, my man Mental. We all gonna be on the panel talking about MC, and they got Turntable Tuesday, Wild Style Wednesday, B-Boy, B-Girl Thursday, and Get Fresh Fly Friday, happy hour, all leading up to that. So if you in the DMV, check that out. For more information, just go to Hip Hop Museum, the National Hip Hop Museum. Just throw that up in Google. It'll take you there. Grab your tickets. Again, if you're a hip hop head and you my age, this is going to be a dope ass show. If y'all know me, I love the Jungle Brothers. So I'm so excited to meet the Jungle Brothers. Like, to me, they're my personal favorite. I didn't say they were the best, but they're my favorite out of Native Tongue. That's how much I love Straight Out the Jungle and Done by the Forces of Nature. Dana Dane, Kwame, Sweet Tea. Sweet Tea to me, one of the illest slept on female MCs whose name never comes up. So it's definitely going to be a dope time in the DMV. Come out and party with us all week long. It's going to be a week of hip hop. Tone, talk a little bit about Into the Dome, what you got. You got 2 joints dropping tomorrow, so let them know.
Yeah, man. First of all, man, appreciate everybody support the Dome, man, podcast. And I started ToneTheDome.com recently, so it's not Into the Dome anymore, because some people hit me up about posting some old articles and whatnot. So I recently posted the last 2 or 3 days old joints on Shaka Khan, Minnie Riperton, of course, Jay-Z, Nipsey Hussle joint, Prodigy joint, and a whole lot of other joint. Herbie Love Bug, you know what I'm saying, who a lot of people sleep on his contribution to hip hop, whatever. Tomorrow I'm gonna post up the KRS-One joint, a Chuck D joint, of course, Mary J. Blige. Man, got a lot of joints coming, man, and new episodes of the Dome podcast, and just doing my thing, man. Appreciate the love, man.
Oh no, always, bro. Rel, what you cooking up, bro?
Me and Vegas working on, about to work on something. You know what I mean, real soon. We're in the early stages of that. And just doing stuff. My daughter just graduated grad school.
Congrats.
About to do law school next. And she got an internship at a law office, a real prestigious one. So she's like, Dad, I need clothes to wear to work. So you know how that went.
Yeah, I know how that went.
So yeah, it's peanut butter and jelly for about a month for me. But it's all worth it, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Fortunate that, she's doing well and prospering. So that's what I've been up to.
That's dope as hell, man. And super proud of her for doing that too, man. And shouts to you for being a dope ass dad, for supporting that too.
Appreciate it.
And trust me, there's a lot of men out there that would have been like, yo, shorty, that's on you. You better, that's on you. And, it is what it is. But I mean, I just understand being a parent never ends. You know what I mean? Like, it's never going to end, and I try to teach that to some of the parents in the communities that I work with. So many of them are like, shit, when they turn 18, that's it for me. And I'm like, bro, the game just started. Like, that can't just be it. You know what I mean? Like, this is a support that never ends. You know what I mean? So, you got to look at it like that. But so definitely props for that. Beg, what's going on with you, bro?
All right, you can follow me on social media at Vegas World INC, and you can check out my podcast right here on YouTube, Hip Hop Now Podcast. Weekly news and perspectives, some specials, including a very special episode where me and the homie Ak will be reviewing Let God Sort 'Em Out clips when it drops at any point. Well, obviously it's already dropped because this video is out when it's out, but just trying to keep a lot of content coming. Last year the goal was to have 1,000 subscribers. Now I'm at 15K. Don't ask me how. I've used a couple tricks. I didn't buy no bots because what's the point in that? But I think it's interesting to see that, especially when it comes to shorts, how many people really care about hip hop. Because when you're on Twitter, all you see is the crazy shit. But when you go to other platforms like YouTube, I think there's more people who understand hip hop, the history, and they will defend it. Mm-hmm. So a lot of that nonsense doesn't really trend because people just jump on them. So I think a lot of videos I've posted have the comment section just turned into, you know, a conversation. I think that's dope. So yeah, just trying to keep doing content, like Ralph said. We working on some music. Also, me and Kill put out a EP this year. You know, I know y'all
Yes, sir.
early, but we put out a joint this year. So it's called Bed-Stuy Vintage BTS. BSV is about 5 joints. Shout out to the dude Nums who was featured on there. It was just extra songs from the project that didn't get a chance to get on that album. So we put out an EP. I got the fur coat on that one. You know what I'm saying? I'm not playing with y'all. Okay. But yeah, check that out. It's on Apple, Spotify, and VegasWorldInc.bandcamp.com.
All right, JR, what you got going on, bro?
Rez is kicking. Shout out to one of our shorts got like 30K views for real, and that joint's still going, so that's crazy. So check us out on YouTube on R&B Raps, still doing our thing with the content. Our website, we updating it, so wait for that, and just follow me at Dreams World of Soul on all platforms.
All right, no doubt. Kill 889 Twitter, IG for me. Yo, for people out there watching, I don't know when it's dropping. We trying to get into a couple more film festivals. I don't want to say star. I'm the star of this documentary called Killing the Kids. You know what I mean? AU student came out, did a documentary on me and my relationship with 2 of my teens. So quick watch, probably about 12 minutes. Got accepted into the Chesapeake Film Festival, trying to get it in some UK festivals too. So we got that shit coming. So a lot of dope stuff coming on, man. A lot of dope stuff coming on. I will check y'all next week, good peoples.